Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by endless forests and sparkling rivers, there lived a wise and proud king who had a daughter named Princess Alara. Princess Alara was known across the lands for her beauty, her kindness, and the gentle sparkle in her eyes that could light up even the darkest hallways of the castle. But the king, though loving, was strict and feared that no ordinary suitor would ever match his daughter's greatness. One day, a mysterious traveler arrived at the castle, wearing a cloak that shimmered like the night sky. He carried with him a small, enchanted box, which he claimed held a secret that would bring immense happiness to the king's daughter. Curious and cautious, the king allowed the traveler into the grand hall. The traveler opened the box, revealing a golden amulet that glowed with a warm light. He whispered that whoever wore the amulet would be blessed by magic beyond imagination, but it came with a test of courage and heart. The king, intrigued and ambitious, decided that this amulet would determine the perfect husband for his daughter. At midnight, under a silver moon, the traveler vanished, leaving only the glowing amulet behind. The king summoned all the princes and noblemen from distant kingdoms, demanding they compete for Princess Alara's hand. But none could prove their worth. Their hearts were either selfish or fearful, and the amulet remained dormant in the princess's chamber. Then, one cold winter morning, a giant bear appeared at the edge of the castle gardens. Its fur was dark as night, and its eyes glowed with an intelligent, almost human light. The bear bowed before the king, speaking in a deep, resonant voice that startled everyone present. "I am Brunner," said the bear, guardian of the enchanted forests, "and I seek the princess's hand to fulfill a destiny older than your kingdom." The court erupted in whispers and gasps, terrified and fascinated by this magical creature who dared to speak as a man might. The king, though hesitant, remembered the traveler's words, that true magic would reveal itself only to those brave enough to embrace it. Against the protests of his advisors, the king agreed to the unusual proposal, arranging a wedding for Princess Alara and Brunner the magical bear. The princess, though fearful, agreed out of respect for her father and curiosity about the mysterious bear who seemed wise beyond measure. The wedding was unlike any other. The castle was adorned with crystals that reflected the light of the winter sun, and flowers of every imaginable color draped the hallways. The bear wore a cloak of silver and gold, carefully woven by forest spirits who had traveled with him from his enchanted home. Princess Alara wore a gown that shimmered like morning dew, her hair braided with tiny pearls and blossoms from the royal gardens. That evening, after the feast and dancing, Princess Alara retired to her chamber, her heart racing with both fear and wonder. Brunner appeared at her doorway, not as a bear, but as a tall figure cloaked in shadows, his eyes still glowing with that strange, compelling light. "Do not fear," he whispered. "Tonight, the truth must be revealed." Curiosity outweighed her fear, and Alara allowed him into her room, clutching the amulet tightly in her hand. Brunner lifted the amulet and spoke words in a language so ancient that it felt like the stars themselves were singing. Suddenly, the room filled with a warm, golden light, and the bear's massive form began to shift. His fur receded like morning mist, and before her eyes stood not a bear, but a handsome prince with eyes like molten amber and a smile full of gentle kindness. "I am Prince Brunner," he said softly, bowing low. "Long ago, a curse was placed upon me by a jealous sorceress, and I was bound to this form until someone with a pure heart accepted me without fear." Princess Alara, astonished yet filled with awe, realized that the magic of the forest and the strength of her courage had broken the spell. Tears of joy welled in her eyes as she reached out and took his hand, feeling the warmth and reality of the prince she had married. The king, witnessing this miracle from the balcony, fell to his knees, overcome with relief and pride. From that night onward, the kingdom celebrated not just the wedding of a princess and a prince, but the triumph of bravery, love, and faith in the unknown. Prince Brunner revealed his true home to Princess Alara. A magical forest kingdom hidden beyond the mountains, full of talking animals, glowing rivers, and trees that whispered secrets to those who listened. Alara and Brunner spent many nights exploring this enchanted realm, learning the language of the animals and the magic of the forest. The princess discovered that she could communicate with the creatures, who adored her gentle nature and bravery. She helped heal wounded animals, nurtured the forest, and learned to harness the gentle magic that the amulet had bestowed upon her. The villagers, at first skeptical of the magical bear prince, soon marveled at his wisdom and fairness, as he governed the kingdom with Elera's counsel. Together, they built bridges between the human kingdom and the enchanted forest, allowing trade, friendship, and knowledge to flow freely. The sorceress who had cursed Brunner, seeing the unbreakable bond between the princess and the prince, tried once more to sow chaos. She appeared in disguise, offering tempting riches and promises of power to Princess Elera. But Elera, wise and strong, saw through the illusions, and with a word from Brunner, the sorceress was banished, never to trouble the kingdom again. Seasons changed, and the kingdom flourished under the rule of the compassionate couple, their love growing stronger with each passing day. Princess Elera gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl, who inherited both her courage and Brunner's magical essence. The children could speak to the forest from birth, and their laughter brought harmony wherever they went. Elera taught them that true magic lies not in curses or spells, but in love, courage, and the choice to see goodness even in the most unlikely forms. Prince Brunner shared the wisdom of the enchanted forest with the royal council, ensuring that the kingdom was prosperous, peaceful, and united. Elera often wandered the castle gardens at night, remembering the moment when fear turned into wonder, and realizing how bravery could transform destinies. The magical amulet remained around her neck, glowing softly, a reminder of the night that changed everything. Stories of Princess Elera and the magical bear prince spread across lands far and wide, inspiring songs, paintings, and tales that generations would tell. Even the neighboring kingdoms, once skeptical, came to admire their wisdom and the harmony between humans and the enchanted realm. The princess and the prince taught their people that appearances can deceive, and that hearts must be judged by courage, kindness, and love. Years passed, but the enchantment of that first night never faded from Elera's memory, nor from the kingdom she helped flourish. Every year, on the anniversary of their wedding, the castle lit hundreds of lanterns, reflecting in the rivers and reminding everyone of the miracle that had occurred. Elera would stand beside Brunner, holding his hand, and watch as children of the kingdom released small lanterns into the sky. The glow of those lights reminded them all that hope, love, and bravery could overcome any curse, any fear, and any darkness. The magical bear, once feared, became a symbol of transformation, teaching the world that true power lies in selflessness and trust. Princess Elera's legacy endured not just as a ruler, but as a symbol of courage, love, and the magic that lives in every heart willing to believe. And so, the kingdom thrived, the forest sang with life, and the enchanted amulet's soft glow watched over them all. No darkness could touch them, for they had discovered the greatest magic of all, the power of love and the courage to embrace the unknown. Even in the quietest moments, when the moon shone silver and the stars whispered above, Princess Elera and Prince Brunner knew that their hearts were forever bound, not by magic alone, but by trust, bravery, and the beauty of seeing truth in all forms. Their story became legend, told in whispers around campfires, in grand halls, and in the laughter of children who dreamed of enchanted forests and magical transformations. And though centuries passed, every heart that heard the tale felt a spark of hope, reminding them that even the most unlikely love can change the world. Thus, the princess who once feared a magical bear became the queen of hearts, and the bear who had once been cursed became a prince of courage, proving that miracles often come in forms we least expect. The kingdom never forgot that night, and neither did the princess who learned that bravery and love together could turn fear into wonder, and darkness into light. And so, they lived, not just happily ever after, but wisely, lovingly, and magically, forevermore.